Mary meet Gemini. Gemini sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. This is a 2-week reading for all you Gemini. Starting today, the 2nd of December, 2023. I'm reading today with Taroki 23, and I've already purified with this old Eau de Cologne du Coq by Guerlain. This is a very well shuffled deck. I'm going to give this deck a nice clean cut, and we'll see what's in the cards for all Geminis. Sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign starting today for the next 2 weeks, December 2nd, 2023. Starting out with the Hermit card. I can't even talk today. Hermit card followed by the Fool, and then that glorious Nine of Swords. Is that a 9? It looks like a 9 of Swords. All right, so the Hermit card and the Fool are, if you notice, they're heading in two different directions. And that's not what we want. We want the Hermit card and the Fool to be discussing, to be talking to each other. And instead of listening to that inner guidance, you're just going off on your own journey. And when you go off on your own journey, that's fine. But remember that your guide is saying, wait, careful. And if you're not listening to your guide when it says, wait, careful, then you put yourself into a lot of worry. And that's what this 9 of Swords is. It's the worry card. And when the 9 of Swords is prominent like that, it means that you're not paying heed to wisdom. You're letting your own imagination go off into directions where you don't want it. Because ultimately, Gemini, your imagination is creative. And we're not trying to say that everything you worry about is going to come to pass, but everything you worry about is setting in motion a creative energy that could help it to come to pass. So the reason why you're worried is not because there's something necessarily to worry about. It's because you're not listening to wisdom. If you start listening to wisdom, then you're going to realize that you have nothing to worry about, and you're going to probably change course a little bit so that you really don't have anything to worry about. How do you listen to wisdom? By just doing it, by just closing your eyes and being in silence for a few minutes a couple times a day. Relaxing your body, relaxing your mind, and just asking for it. This lamp of wisdom that the hermit carries can light up any situation. Any question can be answered. Any situation you can see clearly. But it's hard to see in the dark. Most of us don't see in the dark too well. And if you're not seeing clearly, then you're not going the direction necessarily that you think you are. If everything's dark and you're just taking whatever path because you think you're facing east, you don't know that you're facing east if it's dark. Just because you think you are doesn't mean you are. You might be facing northwest and going off into a completely wrong direction to where you want to be going. So you call on this inner guide and you say, please shine your light on my path. Please shine your light. Please show me what to do so I know. Now, we're not saying, please make my decisions for me, but we're saying, please help me to decide. Please be my counsel. Please show me. Please light the path up for me so I can see. So I'm not making choices in the dark. I'm not going the wrong direction accidentally, right? So you have to do that. You have to put the horse before the cart. Right now, the cart is before the horse, and you're running away from wisdom. You say, no, it's okay. I'm on my own. I can do whatever I want. And you can. You're right. You can do anything you want. And that's also the problem, is we all can do whatever we want. And a lot of times, whatever we think we want is not that good for us. So it's important for you to make sure, and I'm not necessarily saying that the direction you're heading is not good for you, but it's possibly not good for you. And you won't know until you ask. Because right now, what you are doing is you're heading into a lot of worry. And the reason why you're worried and you're going toward worry, boy, I love that all of these landed right on my lap, so I don't have to go fish them off of the floor. the reason why you're going into a place of worry is because you're going onto a darkened path where you don't know where you're going. So of course you're worried, but that's not necessary. You can have that path lighted up in an instant, but your guide isn't going to say, you must have my light. I demand that you let me help you. I demand that you let me show you. I demand that you light up your path. That's not how it works. It's constantly there, patiently waiting for you to ask for it. But ask you must. All right. So on top of Hermit, we have the Eight of Cups, followed by the Priest or the Pope, followed by the, is that a wand or a sword? I think it's a wand. Ace of Wands. So when we have any kind of ace, what we're reminded of constantly is that, yeah, that is a wand. This is the swords. I was just making sure. It looks like a wand, but sometimes these new decks, when you have any kind of ace, but especially the Ace of Wands, it's an incredibly fertile power that you've been given. That means that you can make things happen. You are in a phase of your power when things just almost don't have a lag time, where you can kind of think about it and it expands and it manifests. You can think about it and it manifests. That's a good thing sometimes, but it's also a scary thing sometimes. Think about the legend of King Midas. Anything I touch, it's going to turn to gold. Isn't that neat? Except for then he couldn't eat because everything he turned to gold wasn't necessarily usable. You can't eat gold fruit. You can't eat gold vegetables. So being aware of the fact that if you're in that real fertile area and you are not listening to wisdom and you are going into darkened paths where you don't know where you're headed, and then you're getting a lot of worry, that creative energy of worry will help you manifest a lot of things to be worried about if you're not careful. And it doesn't need to be that way. It doesn't need to be that way. But some of you, it seems like, are, instead of listening to wisdom, are either, it depends, it's so Gemini, because some of you are going one way, some of you are going another way. Some of you are going the way of, no, I'm just going to do what I'm told. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to listen to the rules. I'm going to listen to the authorities, and I'm just going to do exactly what I'm told. That's where your darkness is. Other of you Geminis are doing the exact opposite. You're saying, I don't care what the path is, but I'm going to defy authority at all costs. Nobody can tell me what to do. And I'm not going to do it because they said to do it. And so, no, I'm not listening to that person. I'm not listening to that. I'm not listening to anybody. I'm doing my way. And that also leads you off into the wrong direction. Because what it's saying here is that your connection to infinite intelligence is very clear. And when you do listen to this wisdom, when you do listen to this inner wisdom, your intuition is off the charts. This is a very powerful card, this Eight of Cups, especially for Geminis, because Mercury rules your sign and this card. So this inner wisdom, this Hermit card, is kind of on steroids as far as being able to bring you the truth, to bring you clarity, to bring you guidance. But the choice is definitely yours. And here it's like throwing caution to the wind and saying, yeah, I know I'm intuitive. I know that I can know everything if I really want to, but I don't care. And I'm just going to go off and do my own thing. But then you get lost and then you get worried. And like I said, for some of you, either way, you're being influenced by some sort of authority figure in your life. And it's going to be so different for everybody. Some of you, it's just the idea of authority. Some of you, it's an actual company or boss or parent or political party or whatever. And what you have to realize is whether you are bucking this or whether you're going along with it, either way, it's not your guide. You're listening to the wrong guide. You don't want to listen to the powers of the world right now. You want to listen to your inner guide. Your inner guide can show you instantaneously. And like I said, your powers of intuition are off the charts. So you don't want to disregard that. You want to move back to that and just say, wait a minute, I want to be the fool. I want my freedom. Of course I want to be the fool. I want my freedom and I want my innocence and I want to be able to move freely through my life and to do things that are important to me, right? Of course you want that. Being guided by your inner guidance doesn't thwart your freedom. It just gives you light so that you know where to go. Your freedom is still your own. It's just you want to know where to go. You want to be able to make choices that are very informed. And right now, the choices are not informed. You're listening to people in the world rather than the awesome power of this inner wisdom that you have access to, kind of off the charts. And you were really listening to it before, and for some reason you're like, nah, let's not do that anymore. So be careful, because you're going into a lot of power, and you want that power to be guided by wisdom so that you're happy. You don't want that power to create things that you're going to have to uncreate later that are going to cause you a lot of grief. And that's up to you. It's up to you whether you're listening to the world or whether you're listening to wisdom. And I know which way you're going to go. You're going to go with wisdom. I can just feel it. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I so appreciate you. And thank you so much to the amazing moderators today. We had Sarah and Dre on Twitch and YouTube. And we'll see you in 2 weeks, Gemini. Until then, blessed be.